That is cute. Mr. Rogers still believes in the official numbers that the terrorist group Hamas is releasing. Numbers that they are making up because they are statistically unsound. All in response to a terrorist activity back in October. Meanwhile, multiple nations want to attack Israel for some reason. Why not just leave them alone? Israel is not hurting anyone by existing. Again, so cute. Not only does Mr. Lukovich believe that President Trump is controlling Speaker Johnson, he also still believes in the imaginary Russia collusion. And if that is the basis of why Johnson is not giving Ukraine aid, it is laughable. I am sure that it has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that it is not our problem. Their war, not ours. Green has said some ridiculous things, but the fact that it is implied that she is on Putin's payroll is more ridiculous than Jewish space lasers. The fact remains that it is Ukraine's problem, not ours. Let me break these down a bit. I would like to point out that the library computers would censor those images. Also, do not bother to mention the books that describe explicit sexual acts. After all, those are the ones that are actually being called out en masse. No one is trying to stop reading. Let us just not have X-rated images and scenes in school libraries. I am waiting for Miss Sorensen to say that censoring images on the computer is censorship. I am sure that they can find some people who are willing to lie and persecute President Trump, and people who are willing to lie to protect him, just as he protected us. Either way, even if they cannot find a full jury, there is no harm done. That just means that there is a mistrial and the charges could be dropped. In that case, everyone wins except for the persecutors. Let me break these down as well. These brown shirts were condemned by President Trump, even if people like Mr. Bowling did not listen to the whole sentence. Rittenhouse went to defend his home from violent mobs and administer medical aid. One is the other side, and the other is a mischaracterization. The separation of church and state means that the government does not get involved in the church, such as using subpoenas to collect sermons, shutting down churches because of a virus, or putting faith groups on terror watch lists. Meanwhile, any belief other than Christianity is celebrated and allowed, even erecting statues of demons. Since there never was an insurrection, we can't ignore this. After all, how many insurrectionists are led into a building by security? And how many get private tours by said security? Asking for a friend. Again, let me break down this nonsense. Remember, only Democrats are allowed to use divisive or violent rhetoric. Whether it be Maxine Waters telling people to target President Trump's cabinet, calling for an assassination attempt, or burning down buildings in Washington, D.C. like Black Crimes Matter. I have fallen asleep while listening to fantastical stories that never happened as well. As I mentioned a moment ago, there was no insurrection. Even so, President Trump took to social media and told them to go home, even if big tech platforms decided to take the video down. He shut down the nation from people coming in. He even gave the drug companies the right to make a drug free of consequences. Certainly more than he should have done. I cannot compromise with people who want to defund the police. What would meeting these people halfway even look like? I cannot compromise with people who want to burn down buildings. What would meeting these people halfway even look like? I cannot compromise with people who want to censor speech at the behest of the White House. What would meeting these people halfway even look like? I cannot compromise with people who see me going to mass as a crime. What would meeting these people halfway even look like? I cannot compromise with people who want to arrest me for speaking to a school board. What would meeting these people halfway even look like? Brandon ignores the press and gives nonsensical stories about cannibals. Meanwhile, his handlers shoo the press out the door, or blare music over the press while he walks out to keep them from asking questions as he leaves. Meanwhile, President Trump fell asleep while being lectured about imaginary happenings. If these people want to unionize, be my guest. As long as they are not forcing anyone to join, I am fine with their mob that mandates that they not work. I, however, prefer to work for my pay.